I'm Cindy Brooks, one of the co-owners of Team BrideTribe, and I'm here with my business partner, Michelle English, also co-owner of Team BrideTribe. And usually we have a different kind of show for you guys on the Regina Sunshine Global Network. But tonight we're going to take a little different tack, and we're going to talk about destination weddings and maybe some honeymoons and maybe a little bit of additional travel. Does that sound okay, Michelle?
That sounds great.
Okay, all right, very good. So we're going to pop right in. So destination weddings, why have one? Well, they've grown in popularity over the past 10 years, significantly so. And so some of the reasons why they're such big business is that a destination wedding is a great way to reduce your guest list. It's a great way to kind of focus on the people who are really important in your life, who would pay money to show up wherever the ceremony and reception are going to take place. Also, it's an opportunity to spend time with the people that you really, really love. You just don't have a couple hours, Michelle, like you at the wedding, and it's like you're pecking on the cheek, you're kissing everybody, but you don't have time to talk to anybody. But at a destination wedding, you have, more than a couple hours. You have 2 or 3 days. It's party time. And everywhere you look is a Kodak moment. I mean, there's a beauty behind you, in front of you, all around you. So there's no shortage of great photo ops. You're also moments away from your honeymoon. So Michelle, when you walk down that aisle, or I walk down that aisle, you can take off your shoes, your fancy little white or silver shoes, and just put your toes in the sand, and you're on your honeymoon.
Right.
Another reason why destination weddings are so big these days is because they're so memorable. A lot of the weddings just kind of fade into each other, but with a destination wedding, I mean, your wedding is going to be the talk of the town. It's going to be talked about for years to come. Also, interesting fact is that if you have people who may not get along, generally, let's say you've got your dad, he's divorced from your mom, and when they get together, it's like World War II. But it's on neutral ground. If you have a destination wedding, it's usually they're coming on neutral ground, and people generally behave a lot better. And there's virtually no stress with a destination wedding. So you've got a wedding team committed to you from the day you sign the contract for the wedding package to the day that you say your I do's. And let's talk about the cost of a destination wedding. What do you think the average cost of a wedding in the U.S. is?
A wedding in the U.S., the average cost is $25,000 to $30,000.
You peaked. Who told her? Somebody must have told her.
That's what happens when you're in the wedding business.
That's true. And that's exactly right. And that's just the average cost. Some weddings cost less. Some weddings cost much, much more. But for a fraction of that cost, you can have the most glorious wedding in the Caribbean, or even in parts of Europe or different parts of the world. Caribbean is really popular. So Michelle, let's talk about the top locations. What do you think of the top locations for destination weddings?
The top locations, Hawaii.
That's one. That's top one.
Jamaica.
Ding, ding, ding. That's another one.
And let's say Mexico or the Dominican Republic. Or
Perfect.
Something. Thank you.
What does she want, Johnny? Tell and
I won
the Bahamas.
Johnny.
Yeah.
Oh, I like
she's
Johnny.
Won, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
When you show up, you really show up. Very good. Excellent. So she just missed the Bahamas. So let's talk about the flight time. Mexico is a little over 2 hours from Atlanta. Jamaica is a little over 2 hours. Dominican Republic, that's a little bit further. It's a little over 3 hours. The Bahamas, of course, are like right next door. They're 2 hours away. But Hawaii is a long one. It's like 10 hours away. Now, you've been to Hawaii before, haven't you?
No, I haven't, but it is on my bucket list.
Okay.
I plan to be there in the next 5 years.
Okay, very good. So we're going to have to get
put it
that
out
right.
there.
Okay, when you get married, and it's destination wedding.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Okay, so let's talk about some planning tips. So, number one, consider the time of the year. Not everybody can get off during November over Thanksgiving for 3 or 4 days. So kind of time it when summer vacation rolls around. Also consider the legal requirements of getting married in a different destination. There is a legal marriage and there is a symbolic marriage. I didn't know this. Legal marriage requires a lot more processing. It's more complicated. And in Mexico, they require blood tests. So what like 9 out of 10 couples do, they get married in like at City Hall or in their pastor's office, and legally, and everything's filed. And then they go
And do
a ceremony, have a symbolic ceremony, which is just as formal, it's just less complicated. Also, try to book your destination wedding at least a year in advance. If you can, try and visit the location if you have not been there before. Let your guests know well in advance that you're going to do this and in what country you're going to do this in. And please work with a reputable travel agent such as Michelle or myself.
You're a travel agent?
I'm a travel agent.
Well, what's your business?
My business is Destination Weddings and Honeymoons.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And is it Cindy at Bella Travels?
It is Cindy at bellatravels.biz.
Wow, wonderful.
Yeah,
okay.
but you can also contact either of us at info@teambridetribe.com.
Or info@whiskeywineanddine.com, which is our travel site.
True, true.
Okay.
All right. So some questions to ask. So there are like millions of questions you could possibly ask, but I've taken like a few of the top ones. So whomever you're working with, your travel agent can kind of maneuver and help you with these. Us, yes.
Right, us.
We're very reputable. What are the deposits that are required? You know, what are the due dates for the balances? What are the cancellation policies? So all these things are working around your contract, and you need to be aware of this. You know, you should ask the wedding team or the resort, what do you offer in the way of decorations? What percentage or what part of the packages can be customized, or is it just what you see is what you get? What times of the day do most weddings occur? Like when would you want to get married? Evening, dusk,
Evening.
or
A nice sunset. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Sunset on the beach. What? Yes.
yeah, it's very,
Barefoot. Yes.
and that's very romantic. And a lot of couples do want to get married sunset, but
Right.
guess what? The resorts know this, and sometimes they will
Charge more.
charge a little bit more for that.
Mm-hmm.
But also be very careful the time of day, because if you get married when the sun goes down, you know, your pictures after the wedding or the reception are going to suffer. So you want to have a fair degree of daylight hours.
Right.
So it's really best if you book well in advance. Will there be a photographer there, a videographer there? Will you have a webcam for those people who can't attend? Like if grandma can't attend, you know, will there be a webcam? Should grandma be able to work the webcam or on her computer?
Technology.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so these are things that you want to ask the wedding folks there. Are there any group discounts or amenities? Because generally, the larger the group or the larger the block of rooms that you reserve, the more points that you get or perks that you get. What locations do they have for the ceremony? Not everybody wants to get married on the beach.
On the beach, right.
You
Do
know,
they have a chapel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they have a chapel? Do they have a gazebo? Do they have a ballroom?
Gazebo is nice.
Gazebo is nice. I like the gazebo. Do all the guests have to stay on the property?
Right.
Did you know that most resorts want at least 80% of the guests to stay on the
To stay on
property?
property, yeah.
Other things, do they have an upgrade for the bridal suite? Complimentary?
So now let me ask you a question. What happens if you book your fabulous vacation and you got 100 guests coming and only 75 could get into that resort? What happens to the other guests? Can they stay at a local property, like a sister property for that resort? Will the resort try to accommodate them?
Yeah, they will. What they will do is that they will charge some kind of day pass or something like that for them to come on
Oh, okay.
the property, at like $75 just for the day per person, and they can stay from when the resort opens up to when the resort closes at night, and they have all the amenities.
Good.
But with Sandals, unfortunately, because Sandals is adults only, children cannot come on property, so that's...
But Sandals is worth it. Sandals is one of the high-end, top-notch resorts to do a wedding.
So it's interesting that you talk about Sandals, because tomorrow night we're having a wine tasting class at Carrabba's in Douglasville,
We
Chapel Hill
are?
Road. Yeah, and the
Oh,
Sandals
honey.
business manager is going to be there talking about Sandals Resorts.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
wonderful.
So if anyone's interested, please email us at info@whiskeywineanddine.com.
Right, right.
Okay, some of the, who performs the ceremony? Sometimes you may want your uncle to be part of the ceremony, the officiant, but sometimes there are different rules about that. Who takes care of the hair and makeup and your wedding attire on the property? Is live music available? What type of internet do they have on campus? And could the resort arrange a special activity for your guests? Have you ever been on a catamaran?
I haven't, not yet, but the next time I go to one of these private islands on the cruise, I plan to do so.
Yeah, I've never been. I'm a little afraid. I'm a good swimmer, but
Really?
I think, yeah, there's just so many people on a catamaran, you know?
Too many, you feel like you're gonna get thrown off.
I mean, I can swim, but I do have, you know, I did have a chance.
Get
but
your life jacket.
yeah, but usually they drink a lot of booze on those, which, and I'm not against that,
Not
you know.
just on the island.
Yeah.
I think I'm drinking a lot right now myself.
We're enjoying a glass of wine. So let's talk about the recommendations. There's so many different resorts that you can choose from and hotels and venues across the world. But Michelle and I, we like to work with a few high-end brands, and we work with all-inclusive brands. The one we both really like to work with is the Sandals Resorts. Sandals started it all. The Stewart family, they started in Jamaica. Mr. Stewart started, AKA Butch, started selling refrigerator parts out of his car, the back of his car, in the 70s. Then in the 80s, he opened up Sandals Montego Bay, and that was the first all-inclusive resort in the world. And he started the first swim-up bar. You know, you learn all this different folklore about these folks when you start staying at these properties. And have you been
Right.
to a Sandals property?
I have not yet. I haven't even gone as a travel agent to tour the property. But again, that's on my list for the next 2-3 years. How about you?
Yes, I've been to a lot of them. And
Really?
yeah.
Have
okay.
you stayed as a guest or stayed as a travel agent, you know, touring the property?
Let me tell you, I come from very modest means, so I have not been able to stay as a guest,
Really?
but I've stayed as an agent and have been treated as a guest.
Okay.
And they don't treat you any differently.
different. That's good.
It's a high level of customer service, high level of quality, the amenities, the accommodations. It's really like five-star resorts.
So when you stayed, were you lucky enough to stay in one of the over the water bungalows
God.
or over water villas?
No,
That's on my list.
we're going to see a
Please
picture of those.
Take
But
out a collection, ladies and gentlemen. We need to get Michelle in an over the water bungalow. Thank you very much.
we're going to see a picture of these, but first we're going to take a look. The first image that we're going to see is an image of where Sandals is located. The Sandals Resorts. You probably see on your screen a map of the Caribbean. Sandals is only in the Caribbean so far. It's not in Mexico. It's not in Europe. In Jamaica, they've got 3. They've got Sandals Montego Bay, Sandals Royal Caribbean, which has the overwater bungalows that are villas now that Michelle was talking about. They're just
Yes.
amazing. They're incredible. Also, they're in Negril and Ocho Rios, South Coast, which is at the southern tip of Jamaica. They're in the Bahamas. They have the Royal Bahamian, and they have Emerald Bay on Exuma Island in the outer Bahama Islands. Antigua, they have the Sandals Grand, which has been voted year after year the world's most romantic resort. Grenada, Sandals Grenada opened up a couple of years ago, and it's a beautiful, beautiful property. All of these are pretty much 5 to 10 minutes from the airport, with the exception of some of the Jamaica properties. Negril is about 45 minutes from Montego Bay. Ocho Rios, the Sandals there is almost 2 hours. So
So now, if somebody flies in and their resort is on the other side of the island, how would they get there? Do they have to arrange their own transfers and transportation, or is that included in their package with Sandals?
that's part of their accommodation. Yeah.
Oh.
Now Sandals has different room categories. They will come get you in a Rolls Royce at the top level of the
Yes, honey.
the mid-level-
Once again, take up the collection. Michelle needs to go.
The mid-level,
go
they will
to.
pick you up a BMW. The level at the entry level, they will pick you up in a shuttle van.
In a shuttle
But it's
van.
air conditioned, and they do have
Okay,
beer,
okay.
so they do have beer.
I'm trying to get in at least the BMW.
But I
What
think
about
it's
you?
a beautiful Rolls Royce. They pick you up at the
Really?
highest level. It's those who are a
Wow.
butler, so they have butlers available to
Wow.
you. Yeah, and
Okay.
they're definitely worth it. So they have 2 properties in Barbados now, and they have 3 in St. Lucia, and they are going to open a 4th in St. Lucia.
Have you been to St. Lucia?
No, not yet. That's what I'm
Not
trying. I'm
yet.
begging
It's on
for.
your list,
It's on
too?
it's on my
Okay.
list. So I've been to
Okay.
I've been to Montego Bay, Royal Caribbean. I've been to the Royal Bahamian. I've been to Emerald Bay. I've been to Antigua. I've been to Grenada. But those are the only ones. So.
Oh, those are the only ones, she says.
And
okay.
I have to. I've never been treated so well. I mean, and I've been to beaches at Turks and Caicos. They're property in Turks and Caicos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
So
Miss
one nice
Cindy.
thing about Sandals is that they offer free wedding if you stay at least 3 nights in any room category.
Free wedding.
Free wedding at $500 in value. You can add on to
Wow,
that.
you
Yeah.
can add on additional services.
Yeah.
Wow, a free wedding at Sandals.
And then also there's something called test drive. So a couple or a bride and her mom or mother-in-law can go down. Oh, one thing I had to say about Sandals is it's couples only. You cannot really have a girl trip or a male trip, boys trip at Sandals because they only have canopy or 4-poster beds. They don't have doubles or anything like that. So it's the only resort that I know of. It's only for couples.
Well, they could do a girls' trip if the girls are all okay with sleeping in the same bed.
That's true because they're king beds. So,
Right,
yeah.
right. So it's a nice big bed. If you
Yeah.
don't mind sharing the covers with your girlfriend or your sister or whatever, go ahead.
Yeah, but Sandals also owns beaches resorts. They have one in Turks and Caicos, they've got 3, one in Agril, and I think one in Ocho Rios. Yeah, 3.
Yes.
And they do have every October, they have a girlfriend's getaway.
Yes.
And so girls can get away on that trip, and they're also very, very wonderful. And beaches is their family property also. So the test drive is that a couple for $250 a night. They can go down for a max of 3 nights, and they can visit with the wedding team and explore the property and talk to all the vendors there. So with Sandals, the wedding locations, you can be wed or have the reception in the resort chapel if you're Catholic. They have an over-the-water wedding chapel, which is really beautiful, an oceanfront gazebo, beachfront, a garden gazebo, and something called a wedding garden. And one thing I found out about Sandals a while ago and why I like to work with them so much is they have something called the Sandals Foundation. For every dollar that you spend in Sandals, there is a foundation that uses a percentage of that dollar for community programs and educational programs in the community.
Wow.
So
they
Mr.
really
yeah.
give back.
Yeah, so Mr.
That's
Stewart, he's
good.
from Jamaica. He has a very thick Jamaican accent.
He does.
He does. And he is investing into the community
That's good.
and the
It's a
islands where
beautiful
they,
thing.
yeah. So what you're going to see in our second image, this is where Michelle wants to stay. Sandals Royal Caribbean and their
Yes.
overwater bungalows and villas.
Yes.
Do you remember what Tatiana, the Sandals BDM said,
What'd
how
she
much
say?
it was?
I don't remember how much it was. I just remember how it looked. I just need to get there. And they had the floor with the glass bottom, and you could see the fish. The same thing with the over-the-water chapel
Yeah.
that has the glass bottom, and you could get married, and there's just the fish swimming by. Beautiful.
Yeah,
How
and
much
you have a
was it?
hammock over there. You've got your own infinity pool there. I think they're
Yes.
like, there's bungalows, so there's smaller, and then there are villas. The villas are like $1,400 a night. But guess what, folks? They are packed. They are booked into next year.
Yes.
So they've just,
What happens
yeah.
is the people love it so much, the people that go and stay there, they love it so much that before they leave the property, they're already booking their stay for the following year. So as soon as you see an opening, you need to jump on it and book your villa or your bungalow.
But first contact us at info@whiskeywineanddine.com.
In case you
Because we
didn't
can get you the
know.
deal, because we can package
We can
air.
get you, that's
Yeah,
right, get you in
into it
there.
as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they also have the overwater villas in their South Coast property. They opened that up last year,
yes.
so. Yeah.
Brand new.
And those are being booked, so please
Yes.
contact us. So the third image that you're going to see is one of the beautiful weddings they do on the beachfront. I believe it has the arc over there, and you can, of course, choose your colors. They have different wedding packages. And so the fourth image is also what they've done with one wedding, which they wanted to customize, beautiful palm fronds that were woven over the beach and like an arch for the bride and groom to walk under. Did you have anything else to add about Sandals?
No, I just need to go. I just need to go.
Sandals is it's high end, but it's a very affordable luxury. And we do have payment plans also.
We do have payment plans. And I believe it's every Friday they do a webinar for potential bride and groom to go and see what the properties look like. And if you're interested in watching that webinar and getting more information about it or asking questions, just email us, info@whiskeywineanddine.com, and we can send you the webinar link and you can see for yourself. What else?
Very good. Okay. All right. So now I want to move on to another brand that we like to work with. It's called Secrets. Secrets is part of the AM, A as in Apple, M as in Mary brand. They're a family of resorts, and Secrets is their adults-only, high-end, all-inclusive resort. And on our fifth image that we have, you'll see the map of where they're located. There are 10 of these Secrets resorts in Mexico, 2 in the Dominican Republic, and 2 in Jamaica, and 1 in Costa Rica. Now, one of the good things about Secrets is that they're not as liberal with their freebies as Sandals is, but they do give you a free wedding if you book 7 nights or more in a certain room category. But the value of that wedding is more than Sandals gives you, a $500. They give you a value of $1,000.
Wow.
And
Wow.
the ceremony locations are the beach, a gazebo, a pier, and an island gazebo.
So if you stay for 7 nights, at least 7 nights, they'll give you a free wedding valued at least $1,000.
Yes, yeah.
It's a
Which
good
is pretty
deal.
good, because
That's
that's
a
like
good
the
deal,
average
yeah.
number of nights you might be away for your
Right,
honeymoon is
right.
7 anyway.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Not bad.
So- Yeah, not bad at all. So we've got some images to show you. So the 6th image that you're going to see is one of the newer properties of Secrets. It's called Secrets Acumal. It's on Acumal Bay, which is a little bit south of Cancun, about 40 miles south of Cancun. It was built, I think, opened in 2017. I went there. I think I cried when I had to leave. It was so achingly
Wow.
beautiful. Secrets, they do a great job. And the image after that is one of the evenings that the Secrets Wedding Department put together. It's a wedding reception, and I believe it's purple and orange, things that they can do. The other image that I have shows what they've done for one particular client. Was a wedding arch, beautifully decorated with gardenias and all types of white lilies above it. And the image after that would be the beautifully decorated gazebo that they have, and these are sprinkled all over the property. Now, sometimes you're wondering, well, what about the people who are staying there? You know, do they get in the way of the pictures? Do they try to, like, put themselves in your pictures? But the wedding staff here, they're so well seasoned and used to working with all kinds of weddings that they do a good job of putting different barriers up, natural barriers up, signage alerting people that there is a private event going on. So even on the beach, they have it closed off where people can't walk by. You don't want to see anybody with, in their trunks going by, getting your wedding picture. That's not quite worth the shot. So the 10th image that I have, it's showing what Secrets has done for a wedding on the beachfront there. And so that's the last of the images that I have for Secrets. But I would say, given Secrets or Sandals, Sandals is probably the better value because of all the inclusions it has on the property. And there are just too many to name. But if you like to get more information, please email us at info@whiskeywineanddine.com. So the last brand I want to talk about is El Dorado by Charisma. Charisma is a Spanish-owned or Spanish-sourced company, I believe, and they have multiple brands. But the one that I like, which is adults only and all-inclusive, and all their properties are all-inclusive, but the ones that are adults only are called El Dorado. And they are all in Mexico. There are only 4 of them. I've been to all 4. I was really lucky. I was really lucky. Now, they have the distinction of calling themselves gourmet exclusive. So at this property, they really focus on food and presentation, and it's beautiful. It's wonderful. So gourmet inclusive is their trademark name, and there are 4 on the Riviera Maya, which is south of Cancun. They're called the Casitas, the Royale, Maroma Beach and Seaside. Now, Maroma Beach is one of the world's top 10 beaches, so it is a beautiful property. And then,
Really?
yeah, and then this March they're opening up overwater bungalows in that same area. They're going to call them palafitos. So the next image I have shows what these palafitos overwater bungalows look like.
Wow.
So we got the pool there. They're right over the crystal blue water, azure blue water. They're pretty big. They're really private and extremely romantic. All of these brands just exude romance. When it's adults only, I mean,
Yeah.
there's nothing
It's
better.
all about romance.
Yeah, I mean, if I were going to get married and I had my choice, I would prefer to do adults only as
Adults
opposed to
only.
children.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, we love
I
children.
mean, I love children. I love other people's children.
Yeah,
Anytime I get a chance to go on vacation, I would prefer something adults only.
I would. The
But
entertainment is a little bit better. It's
the
not always
kids are still
oriented.
cute.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems it's a little bit more sophisticated. You know, when you just want to talk to adults, especially if you have kids. I imagine you want to get
need a
away.
break.
Yeah, especially for
Right.
you romance-infused people, like if you're looking for just a romantic getaway
Yeah.
or to renew your vows or
Right.
an anniversary or something like that, you want to take your boo or your
Right.
significant other. I can't believe I'm saying boo. So,
Your babe.
yeah, you're bad. It took me a while to figure out what that actually meant, but that's the benefit of hanging around with somebody much younger.
Hey, I try to keep you young.
Yeah, she taught me everything I know, which is kind of
It's
scary.
almost-
So the 12th image that I have, it's showing one of their seaside suites, their poolside suites. It has the infinity pool right overlooking the beautiful Playa del Carmen, and the views are just breathtaking and incredible. The next image that I have is of an El Dorado resort in Mexico, and it shows a reception that they've done, which is really beautiful, covered with draping, and beautiful floral notes and elements. The last two slides that I have, what they've done, the El Dorado and their brands, is that they have this wedding called a sky wedding, and it's on the rooftops of some of their restaurants. And it's overlooking the beautiful beach, but it's elevated, and it's really private, so you don't get a lot of that beach traffic or
Right,
noise that you
right.
think you might get ordinarily.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, so those are the last
Private
two
and
images
exclusive.
that I have for the rooftop weddings.
Wow, okay.
So and there's just so much more about destination weddings. And, destination wedding is not for everyone, but if you're looking for a one-of-a-kind wedding, we really recommend that you be open to a destination wedding, and please contact us. We can steer you in the right direction.
Right, absolutely. Okay, that was very good.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a little break, and we'll be back to talk about weddings on cruises. about destination weddings and honeymoons, Michelle and Cindy from Team BrideTribe, and Whiskey, Wine, and Dine Tours. That's our travel agency. Cindy just wrapped up talking about destination weddings at 3 resorts, and now I'm going to talk about cruises. I'm only going to discuss a few cruise lines. I'm not going to discuss all of the cruise lines. I'm going to discuss Carnival, Norwegian, and Princess. There are typically 3 main ways or venues that you could use to get married while on a cruise. And that's at sea, which means while cruising, harbor side, which means you're docked in the port, and destination or at shore, which means you're docked, but now you want to go and get married on the beach or on a glacier.
Oh my gosh, on a
how
glacier.
about
Oh my
that?
God, I can't imagine.
I
Amazing. That would be amazing. Can you
I don't
imagine
even
the
know.
photographs?
I would probably, even though I don't like the cold at all,
Yeah.
I would probably choose getting married on a glacier over on a beach.
Well, how would that work? Would it be very cold? But in summer, it's not that cold, right, in Alaska?
Yeah, but you're on a glacier.
Yeah, but you have like a parka on over your wedding dress?
Yeah. I don't know if I'm
A
gonna
wedding
dress
parka.
anyway.
I don't think they sell those.
Not yet. Put that on the list.
Okay, all right.
Okay, all fees that we're going to discuss are starting prices for the packages. You could always add additional services such as full photography services, spa services, floral packages. All of those are additional add-ons. First up, Carnival. Carnival has 4 different ways to get married. An embarkation wedding. This takes place on the ship before your cruise begins so that you can celebrate with friends and family who are not sailing
That's a great
with
idea.
you.
That's a great idea because not
Right.
everybody would be able to go.
Right, most of them do that. You could do a wedding at sea. This requires that all guests sail with you since it takes place while the ship is at sea. You're out in international waters and you're partying, everyone's there, having a great time. On-board destination wedding. This is offered on board the ship while it's docked in a particular port. And a destination wedding venue. This wedding happens off the ship, either on a beach or something similar, some other beautiful location.
Who performs that ceremony? Do you know?
The ship captain performs
Oh.
most of the ceremonies, but they also have wedding officiants.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Carnival also has 3 different package levels for each service and 3 different price points. They have a gold, platinum, and diamond levels. An intimate ceremony is for up to 10 guests, including the bride and groom, and that starts at $1,450. A grand ceremony is for up to 50 non-sailing guests, and that starts at $1,852. A classic wedding is for 50 non-sailing guests, but that also includes a 1-hour reception.
Okay.
That price starts at $2,412. The last slide you'll see will show you starting prices for each venue and each package level.
So they have 3 different packages?
So they have the intimate, the grand, the classic, and within those they have the gold, platinum, and diamond.
Oh, within each. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Okay. How far in advance do you have to book these things, do you think?
I would suggest at least a year in advance, just so that you can get all the cabins and everything that you want.
Yeah.
But you should do no less than, I would say, 75 days.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Norwegian. Say I do during a legally recognized ceremony performed on board by the ship's captain. The wedding at sea, Norwegian's wedding at sea package includes a ceremony performed by the captain, a bridal bouquet and matching boutonniere, a couple's cake, champagne toast, bistro dinner for 2. The bistro restaurant
Is nice? He's nice.
Tea's nice, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't speak French, but ooh la la. 1 bottle of sparkling wine, 1 bottle of house wine, 1 bottle of Prosecco, chocolate-covered strawberries, canapes delivered to your stateroom, and priority tendering, and a 1-hour photography package. This package starts at just under $3,000. They also offer 3 other packages that you can choose from. A symbolic wedding ceremony that starts at just under $2,000, a harborside ceremony just under $3,000, and a destination ceremony. The destination ceremony or the harborside destination packages vary by port. They have a list of ports that include Alaska, Jamaica, Greece, Hawaii, and many more.
Wow.
I know. Can you imagine?
Greece, wow, that must be beautiful.
Can you imagine?
I can't really get next to the Alaska thing, but I know Alaska is your thing. Michelle's a resident Alaska expert. She knows everything about Alaska.
All things
I think
Alaska.
she lived there in a previous life.
I probably
so,
did.
Yeah.
I probably did.
Nanook of the North, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, Alaska. Okay.
But that's still a pretty decent price. I mean,
It is.
you
It's
consider,
not bad.
yeah,
You're on a cruise.
yeah.
But I mean, what else can you ask for?
Yeah.
I would do it. Well, yeah, I probably would do it.
Yeah.
Okay, all wedding packages include the wedding coordinator or wedding planner, the flowers, the officiant or, the ship's captain, the vows, or you can write your own vows, private selection of wine, a 6-inch cake, the keepsake wedding certificate, pre-recorded music, flower and cake upgrades are available as additional costs, as well as the photography packages. Now we'll talk about Princess. Princess is the original Love Boat.
It is. It is. I
you
did not
know
know
that?
that. I did not know that
The
for a
Pacific
while.
Princess.
Yeah.
That was the ship. The Pacific
Yeah.
Princess is featured on the Love Boat.
Yeah.
Love Boat.
Captain Steubing and Julie
Right,
and all those.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, the Princess Wedding Program is called Tie the Knot Program. They also have the 3 different wedding levels, wedding package levels. At sea. The at sea packages, if you're dreaming of being married at sea by the ship's captain, then this is the one for you. The Tie the Knot at sea package is performed by the captain while in international waters. This ceremony is legal under the authority of the ship's Bermuda Registry. The harborside package, the Tie the Knot harborside ceremony is conducted prior to the cruise, prior to the cruise's sailing in the embarkation port. Blip, blip, blip. I had too much wine. Too much wine.
There's no such thing as too much wine.
Oh, cheers. Cheers to that. Ding. Okay, the Harborside program provides the opportunity for you to invite your guests to come in and enjoy the wedding and come along for the cruise. The ashore.
We're coming to the close, folks, so bear with us. Be patient.
Oh, gosh. The ashore ceremony is held in many romantic locations, from sparkling Caribbean beaches to the Alaska wilderness and many other ports of call by Princess. Now, let's talk prices. It's Princess, of course.
Yeah.
The at-sea wedding package includes a wedding coordinator, photographer, videographer, and live music, a keepsake photo, a wedding certificate, fresh flowers, a cake, champagne, and more. The ceremony itself will take place either in the ship's chapel or on an onboard location of your choice. The starting price for this is $2,500. If you want to have your wedding, but you want to have your family and friends, and they can't be with you on the cruise, but you want them at your ceremony, the Harborside package is perfect for you. This package includes the same ceremony as for the at-sea package, but it also takes place while the ship is docked in port. Once the wedding is complete, your honeymoon cruise will begin, allowing you to enjoy your special time without having to worry about traveling. The starting price for this is $2,000.
Yeah. That's not bad. That really is pretty
Right.
cost effective. I could see people who are on a budget, especially if you're on a budget,
Right.
I can really see brides and grooms looking into this. It's something, off the beaten track. It's something different.
Right. And you get,
Yeah.
it's like a 2-for-1, your wedding and your
Yeah.
honeymoon all in one. And in some cases, you could add your reception and have it longer than, an hour or 2 hours. But you're on a ship, you're going to be partying the whole time, so it's like a week-long reception.
Yeah, I would really recommend that. What about the room category? Wouldn't you go for like a
Oh.
balcony or a suite? You know, just to
And
like
you
to dress it up.
what
To
would
you
I
know,
recommend?
oh, you always go like high end. Michelle, she always gets a balcony or a suite. Me,
I
I
mean,
get
you
the
have
interior
to.
room. I'm like real like low. You know, like the low. What's your cheapest? But Michelle's like she's like suite, balcony.
You have to do a balcony because you need to be able to open up and let that fresh air in, listen to the waves crash. If you're in Alaska, you need to look outside and see the whales breaching. You'll never know when that can happen.
Here's my thing. I think I'm going to get the balcony that has like one little thing missing or off kilter,
And
and I'm
lean
going to fall
on it?
through. I'm going to lean on it. You know,
No. Cindy, that's never happened.
Yeah.
You know that'll never happen. All the maintenance and everything that
Until
they
it
do on
does,
the
until
ship-
it does.
No, the only time people ever fall off overboard is when they're completely sloshed out of their mind and they're like, "Oh, look at me! I could climb the railing."
well, that ain't happening. That
Next
ain't
thing
happening,
you
Jack.
know.
That one kid, he fell to his death. I think he was climbing up.
You
He
see?
was trying to get to
So
another room.
That would never happen.
Yeah, but
here.
then
You're
like if you
fine,
get really
you're
pissed
fine.
at your husband or wife, you can just toss him over the rail.
I,
Take $1 million insurance policy out.
I am not co-signing any of this. The thoughts and words coming out of her mouth are hers alone. They have nothing to do
Bye,
with
boo. Bye.
Ooh. They have nothing to do with Team BrideTribe or
Love
Whiskey,
you.
Wine, and Dine Tours. That's Cindy
Disclaimer,
at Cindy
disclaimer,
Bella
I see.
at Bella Travel.
She does not have my back, y'all.
Not this time. Normally I do, but not this time. I can't bail you out. I don't have your back. No, ma'am.
Okay, I'm sorry to
It's
digress.
okay.
I digress.
Let's get back. The Assure option for Princess. This allows you to get married either on the ship or at a port of embarkation. This option gives you the chance to tie the knot at a destination of your choice or exchange your vows with your loved ones in a lush garden or a serene beach. Plus, the wedding coordinators can even incorporate local traditions into your ceremony if you choose, giving you the special day an exotic flair. The starting packages for this, $3,000.
Okay. Do they recommend a symbolic ceremony versus a legal ceremony, or does it not matter?
No, I think that's up to each couple.
But if you get
however they
married,
wanna do
like-
it. But yeah,
If you get married in a different port, aren't you subject to that country's
yes,
marriage requirements?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely. Then you would want to make sure you take care of all your paperwork and your legalities before time, and then you have the symbolic ceremony while at sea.
And if you have a legal ceremony, those papers have got to be filed with your appropriate authority, legal authority court in
Right.
your state of domicile. One of my clients found out that after 40 years of marriage, that she was not legally married to her husband of 40 years.
40
They found this out when they were
years.
going to renew their 40th anniversary. And she went to the courthouse and nothing
Right.
was filed, and they were not legally married. They had kids and she had grandkids together.
After
but
40 years,
Yeah.
they were just shacking up. Didn't
just
even
shacking
know it.
up.
Didn't even know it.
Crime buckets,
well.
crime, boo-hoo.
Wow.
Yeah. But they resolved it. They sorted it out. So
Well,
yeah.
that's good. Good for
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, that's it. That's all our talk for destination weddings and honeymoons. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
Not about destination weddings and honeymoons. I mean, there's so much more to add, but that's for another time or for another
Okay.
show. So if you're interested, please contact us, info@whiskeywineanddine.com.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. We're going to take a little break and we'll be back to tell you about some of our other events and trips we have going on.
we're Cindy and Michelle with Team BrideTribe and also
Whiskey, Wine, and
whiskeywineanddine.com.
Dine Tours. Yes. Okay, we wanted to tell you about a trip we have coming up in October of 2020. This is the trip. This is for many a bucket list trip, and we're bringing it to you. Splendors of South Africa. October 2020, this bucket list trip goes from Cape Town to Johannesburg in Zimbabwe. We'll spend 12 amazing days examining, exploring, and enjoying the sights and sounds and tastes of this once-in-a-lifetime trip.
It's going to be remarkable. It's 12 days. It's with a great supplier. They know Africa like the back of their hand. So Cape Town, I'm sure a lot of you know the name Mandela. So he was on Robben's Island.
Mandela.
And so that's right at Cape Town. And Cape Town is considered the cultural cradle of South Africa. Johannesburg is more the business sort of urban sprawl, but Cape Town is a true cultural sort of bastion of South Africa. So there's a great food scene there. It's right next door to the wine district with Stellenbosch. And Johannesburg, we're going to spend a couple of days, I think, in Johannesburg, looking around there.
Yes. Some of the highlights will be 4 thrilling game drives for the Big Five. In the game reserve,
And the Big Five are the tigers, the cheetahs, the elephants,
lions and rhinos.
Oh God!
Right.
I got to tell you, I went to Kenya and I went on a game drive. Incredible, freaking incredible.
Really?
A girl from Jersey, urban jungle, going into the Africa. It was. I'll never forget it. I mean,
wow, that's why we're going back.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
And we're going to have night drives as well as day drives, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
We're going to be staying in the game preserve. I can't pronounce that.
Makalali, please don't hold it against
me. Makalali, whatever.
Makalali Game Preserve.
Yeah.
And then we'll have a day in Zimbabwe, and then which is home to Victoria Falls.
Yeah.
Have you been to Victoria Falls?
No, I didn't. I didn't make that trip. People I went with, they went down there, but I was a little bit afraid because it was a difficult time in Africa. It was back in the early 80s, and so it was a difficult time. The border between Kenya and Tanzania was closed, and the president of Kenya was on his way out. There had been an uprising and a coup attempt right before we had gotten there.
And you still went?
Yes, I would still. I went to Sandals, Royal Bahamian in the middle of a hurricane, so that's how dedicated I am. But we're going to be taking a sunset cruise on the Zambezi River. Right where the Victoria Falls. Can you imagine throwing back a gin and tonic, watching the sunset on the Zambezi River, the glorious purples, oranges. I'm telling you, the smells and sights and sounds of Africa are so different from what you would have here. It's a unique experience.
Absolutely.
And I'm not sure if it's because we're people of color.
Right.
Our ancestry goes back to Africa, or that we feel there's some kinship there, or because it's such a, it just envelops you. It just envelops you. The perfumes, the scents, the aromas, it's the food. The people are so incredibly gracious.
Right.
They are so incredibly gracious and kind and learned and educated. They know their history. That's one thing that we don't know too much of, but they know their history from the Boer War on down through Mandela and what's going on now. So kudos to them.
Yeah.
So and so how much, it's a bucket list trip. It's 12 days.
It is 12 days, and it is absolutely a bucket list trip. We do offer affordable payment plans. You have until April of 2020 to pay for the trip. It is expensive. I'm not gonna, sugarcoat it at all. The price, and this doesn't even include the air from here to Cape Town. The price is $6,053. Okay. Get off the floor, close your mouth, and book your trip. You have to go.
I mean, we're not going really cheap or budget. This is not like a Red Roof Inn or anything like that. It's going to be high end.
4 and 5-star hotels.
Yeah.
This is it. This is the way to go.
Yeah. If you're looking for that bucket list trip, like Michelle, this is definitely something to put your coins toward. Yeah. So we're definitely very excited about it, and it's on our website, which is.
It is on our website. So if you go to whiskeywineanddine.com, there's a link there that says Splendors of Africa, and you could fill out the forms and send in your deposits. Deposits are $200 per person, and then we'll work out a schedule with you of whatever is you're comfortable with and you could afford to pay, so that you could have it paid off by April of next year. You have more than a year.
So definitely contact us. And we're going cruising to Cuba over spring break. It's a little bit too late, I guess, to get bookings because that ship is full.
The
so
ship is sold out.
It's
yes.
sold out. Norwegian
so
Sky.
That's March 31st to April 5th. Norwegian Sky from Miami. Now, what's one of the special things about the Sky? Something that I love.
Yeah. From what I understand is that we're going to be there in Havana for 2 days instead of
Right.
just 1 day.
But what else is special about the ship itself?
Oh,
The sky
it's all
and the
inclusive.
sun. Yes,
All inclusive.
honey.
The drinks are included. So
Yes. Can
you-
we cheers
Oh my
to
God!
that?
I have picked. Never mind.
Oh, you picked somebody off the floor.
No, I
that
have
ship?
pictures of people like my sister falling asleep after drinking too much.
All inclusive, open bar.
I mean, champagne, sparkling wines, top shelf
Yes,
alcohol.
yes.
I'm not, like, I remember my last dinner there on the Norwegian Sky. That last night we went this past summer also. Prime rib, a huge baked potato, some kind of vegetable, and
You
the
don't even
wine.
remember
I
the
don't know.
vegetable.
I mean, you can have like 2 or 3 entrees. You can share. You can have more than one dessert. I mean, we killed it. We really. It was a little.
I
Yeah.
went with my family a couple years ago, and we found that there's this little bar right outside the casino, and they have all of the flavored mojitos that you could. Oh, we sat in this lounge area for hours.
I think we have mojitos on our
the
cornflakes.
stories I could tell. If I told the stories, you would not find me tomorrow. So
I
I'll
rem-
have to keep my mouth shut. But there's stories and pictures. Okay,
Okay.
we'll talk.
Did
about
somebody
it
in here
later.
go? Did somebody here go with you?
Somebody in this room did go.
Okay, all
I'm
right.
not going to mention names. I'm not going to show pictures or videos.
Okay, all right.
But
Okay.
I have them. If you see me
Mojitos,
on the
yeah,
street,
God.
ask me about the pictures.
Yeah, we threw
Okay.
those mojitos. So it's all inclusive.
Yes.
So these sailings on Norwegian are generally all inclusive on the Sky
Yes.
or the Sun.
Sky and the Sun, all inclusive.
Yeah.
But they also have the promos now where you can include the open bar as one of your perks for traveling. You get 5 different perks that you could choose from as the promotions, and one of those could be open bar.
Oh, on other sailings.
Yeah,
that
on the
don't-
other ships,
Yeah,
yep.
but and that's true. But there is a service charge.
Right, there's a
So-
service charge, right. But it's still open bar.
As opposed to like
If you
$50
go
a
on a
day. Yeah.
7-day cruise, you know how many mojitos I could throw back?
Jeez, God.
Margaritas?
And I'm not a drinker, but
I'm not
man.
either, but I'm just, like, I can only imagine.
Yeah, the steward can help you to your
Right, right.
to your room.
Do you need help,
Because all the
miss?
cabins look alike. So.
Right.
Okay, and we're going this summer to Alaska aboard the Norwegian Bliss, which is a 20-deck behemoth ship, the flagship cruise liner of Norwegian, and we're going to be going there for a week, and we're going to be going an incredible itinerary on that
Yes.
particular ship.
Norwegian Bliss, June 9th through the 16th, departing from Seattle. The Bliss is one of the newest ships for Norwegian, and she is
Amazing.
unbelievable.
It just launched in 2018, I think.
Yes.
Their maiden voyage was
Yes,
2018,
yes,
wasn't
yes,
it?
absolutely.
20 decks.
I mean, she has a go-kart track on the top.
Not happening, Jack.
Go-karts. Can you imagine driving around on your go-kart track? Just
On the
cruising
20th deck.
along?
Also,
Playing laser
they have laser
tag.
tag. I might check that out. Laser tag.
I might too.
Yeah.
I might, yeah. That sounds like fun.
But the specialty restaurants, they have a 360-degree panoramic viewing observation.
lounge.
Oh my
Yes.
God, I can't believe that.
Yeah,
So
it's beautiful.
I've never been to Alaska.
This ship was built for Alaska. Alaska, I've been there maybe 5 or 6 times. It is.
That's all?
I know.
I thought more.
No, it's only.
It's
been about
18 cruises, right?
5 or
But
6.
1,800 cruises.
18 cruises. But Alaska about 5 or 6 times, and every time I get the opportunity, I would go. It's not just a vacation, because you think about vacation, you tell people about vacations,
Yeah.
and they're like, "All right, point me to the beach." give me the sun, give me the sand. But Alaska is truly an experience like no other. You must go. And this
Yeah.
itinerary is departs from Seattle. It goes to Juneau, Ketchikan,
Yeah. British
Skagway.
Columbia, and then we do the inner, was it
Cruise the
Glacier Bay?
Inside
Glacier
Passage.
Bay, and
You spend a day in Glacier Bay, which is a national
yeah.
park.
Oh wow.
They have the park ranger comes on and
Yeah.
they tell you all about the 6 or 7 different glaciers, Marjorie Glacier and Hubbard Glacier, all the
I've heard
different
of that,
glaciers
yeah.
in Glacier Bay, and you
Yeah.
see the sea otters. You may see some. If you could take your binoculars, because if you spot a little white thing on the side, there's like a goat, mountain goat climbing up.
Wow. And like
Bald
let's see, polar
eagles.
bears. Polar
No,
bear,
not
maybe.
polar bears.
Polar bears.
No.
Okay. All right. Let's see, caribou or moose.
You might.
Bears? Wanna see
Elk,
bears?
Bears, yes, absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely. It's definitely a trip, another
And whales,
trip you
right?
must take. Whales
Whales.
galore. That's what I'm telling you. You must get a balcony.
I've seen orca.
You might, yeah. I
Wow.
did my first time there. I saw orcas. There was a
Jeez.
pod swimming along with us. The baby kept flipping up out of the water,
Wow.
showing off. Absolutely.
I'm definitely looking
You
forward
must.
to it.
My recommendation is to get at least a balcony cabin, because you never know what you'll see. Just waking up in the morning, having your coffee on the balcony.
I would be
There's a whale
so
breaching.
I would be so scared of a balcony.
No,
I would be.
no. You gotta
Yeah.
do it at least once.
Yeah.
At least
Okay.
once.
All right.
Okay.
And then we're thinking about doing a culinary tour and wine tour to Spain in 2020 in the summer. So we'll be putting out information on our website, whiskeywineanddine.com. So
Yes.
look for that, or you can email us and we can put you on our mailing list, info@whiskeywineanddine.com.
Okay.
We have some things going on locally
I
also.
also have a trip for Christmas. Christmas, December 21st to December 28th. If you want to go on Carnival Conquest to Amber Cove, St. Thomas, Puerto Rico, and Grand Turks, then you could join me on the Carnival Conquest for a Christmas cruise.
That sounds wonderful.
Yes, yes. And we also have some wine events that we do.
We do. We've been working with a local restaurant, Carrabba's Italian Grill, on Chapel Hill Road, 2700 Chapel Hill Road in Douglasville. We have a wine tasting class and food pairings there the second Tuesday of every month. The next one is tomorrow. And what we've been doing is we're inviting our travel suppliers to come and give a short presentation, enjoy the wines and the foods with us. It's $25, not including tax and tip, and $5 for the tuition for the wine class. So it's really very affordable. It's a real fun evening. We have lots of fun, games, trivia, and we have some really great information from our travel suppliers.
Right.
Last month we had Virgin Voyages, and then tomorrow we're going to have Sandals Resorts.
Sandals, right. And then in May, we're going to have Globus, and they'll give you more details about our trip to South Africa
Yeah.
if you're interested in going. We've also started hosting wine tasting classes at Total Wine and More.
Yay!
Yay! That's major.
This is big. This is
That's
big for us,
major.
yeah.
So we'll have our travel suppliers come to Total Wine and also do a talk about their brands. And we'll have the wine class presented by Total Wine. Our first one for that is April 15th at Brookhaven.
Tax day.
Tax day. Either celebrate or drink your sorrows away. At Total Wine.
I don't know why that's so funny, but people's misery shouldn't set you up in the
Right.
peals of laughter. But
Come sit
You
with
know,
us. We'll
you
make you
know.
feel better.
once you put that check into the IRS, that $5,000 check, come on
Right.
and toast with
And
us.
Cheers with us. So that's April 15th at the Brookhaven Total Wine.
Which is right up from Lenox Mall.
Right. And then May 15th we'll be at Perimeter Mall. And then June 18th we'll be back to Brookhaven. So we've got plenty of events that you can come and join us and learn about wine, learn about travel. We'll see you there.
And
Anything else?
we're Cindy Brooks
And Michelle English.
with Team BrideTribe and Whiskey,
Whiskey,
Wine, and Dine Tours here on the Regina Sunshine Global Network. Thank you for tuning in.